Good morning. I-24 News Morning Edition on this December 20. Okay, 24. It is Christmas Eve, and I just want to say that I'm kind of organizing this little tree here.
Yes,
and
yes.
If you can help me out here.
Of course, sure. Here,
there.
How's that?
How's that? That's good. We're going to do it. Now, it is Christmas Eve, and it's a very, very exciting time for thousands, actually millions of people around the world. That said, Christians, okay, in medieval times, the Catholic Church persecuted non-believers, forced them to convert to Christianity. That we all know. That is history. Hundreds of years later, as Christmas is being celebrated worldwide, it seems that from a persecuting religion, Christianity, at least in some parts of the world, and namely also the Middle East, has turned into the persecuted one. Here is a picture, actually quite a sad picture, by reporter Tal Heinrich, of those who won't be able to have a Merry Christmas in and around actually the region that we're living in. Let's take a look at the following report about Christians in the Middle East and this holiday season.
Pope Francis has called the persecution of Christians in the Middle East a form of genocide. The situation of Christians in Iraq and Syria has captured international spotlight since the Islamic State occupied massive territories last year, but harassment and violence against Christians occurs all over the Middle East, in Africa, in Asia, and if you ask Donald Trump, even Christians in America are losing their religious freedoms.
Christians their power is being taken away, and I just watch it and I get angry at it.
Christians have lived in Iraq for thousands of years, and today there are about 300,000 Christians in the country. But last summer, Iraqi Christians came under fire. The Islamic State offers them three choices: convert to Islam, pay a tax, or be killed. Some were lucky to flee.
In this day, we are happy to receive the children from Iraq who were immigrated with their families from Mosul more than a year ago. This is their second Christmas in Jordan.
At one point, there were 2 million Christians living in Syria. But since the rebellion against Bashar Assad began in 2011, 500,000 have been displaced. Others have been publicly executed or had their churches destroyed. This week in Damascus, however, Syrian President Assad and his wife Asma visited a church during Christmas concert preparations. In Libya, after the revolution that toppled Gaddafi, the small Christian community's fears for its safety have increased, especially after jihadists claim to have killed dozens of Christians in the country this year. And although Kenya is a Christian-majority country, Christians there have increasingly come under attack since 2014 as violence in Somalia spilled over the border. In April, 147 people, mostly Christians, were killed by Al-Shabaab at Kenya's Garissa University. Since Boko Haram seized power in the north of Nigeria, thousands of Christians have been slain or kidnapped. Those who are allowed to live are discriminated against the Muslim majority north of the country. In many countries, it is illegal to practice Christianity, and the risk is death. Notwithstanding, families are celebrating the holiday in countries where these customs are forbidden. Some of them share their magical moments on social media under the hashtag #MyTreedom.
MyTreedom, but in Bethlehem, luckily, they are still celebrating Christmas. We're going to go straight back to Bethlehem where Mohammed Al-Qasim is standing by. Mohammed, good morning to you.
Good morning back to you, Yael. As you can hear behind me, the festivities are continuing here in Bethlehem, and we are glad that we have with us the tourism minister in the Palestinian Authority, Ms. Rula Maaya. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ms. Maaya, tell us, how is the festivities different this year? The celebration for Christmas is different this year than previous years?
Yes, of course, everybody knows that this year we're celebrating Christmas while the Palestinian people are suffering on daily basis from the Israeli occupation. Of course, here in Bethlehem, we celebrate Christmas. Christmas is the birthplace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord, the birthplace of the King of Peace. So here from Bethlehem, we want a message to the whole world, a message of peace, and we want to tell the whole world that Palestinians are people who want peace, and they only want to live in their country without occupation. Of course, the situation that we're passing through these few months, of course, affects everything in Palestine, and especially tourism coming to Palestine. But despite all these problems, we managed to receive this year around 2 to 2.3 million tourists to Palestine. Tonight, as I was told, the Bethlehem hotels will receive more than 7,500 tourists, in addition, of course, to the tourists who will come and participate and who will not spend the overnight in Palestine.
We heard the report before we went in the air about Christians throughout the Muslim world and the Arab world. Give us an idea about Christians here in the Palestinian territories, their status, the situation, difficulties, challenges that are facing Christians in Palestine.
Well, here in Palestine, we're all Palestinians. It doesn't matter if you're Muslim or Christians. We're all Palestinians. We're all suffering. Christians are suffering. Muslims are suffering because they are Palestinians living under occupation. Of course, all Christians and Muslims, all Palestinians want to live in peace, want to have to live their life like any other nation in the world, and this is what we hope, and this is our message from Bethlehem today.
I'm going to take on your last couple of words, message and hope. What's your hope and what's your message from Bethlehem today, Christmas Eve, for the future and for the rest of the people?
Our message is first a message of peace to the whole world, and of course what we said this year is that all we want for Christmas is justice. We want justice for our kids, justice for our people. We want to live in peace. We want to live without occupation like any other nation in the world.
Thank you so much. Yael, as you heard, the message of hope, the message of a brighter future for everybody, not just for one group over another. Hopefully that this is the case. Hopefully today is the start of a hopeful message for the next year and for all the generations coming up. From Bethlehem, back to you, Yael.
Amen to that. Muhammad Al-Qasim, thank you for joining us this morning from Bethlehem. A message of peace, and sadly also, as we're listening, as we're seeing these scenes, there are initial reports at this stage of two injured Israelis in the settlement of Ariel. According to initial reports, this is supposedly another stabbing attack on two Israelis in Ariel. Of course, I-24 News will be following it throughout this Christmas day. Now, while Christmas is generally seen as a time of the year to be filled with holiday cheer and festivities, and we'll get to that, for many the reality is quite different, and it's important to remember those many. Far from their homes, separated from their families, hundreds of Christian asylum seekers here in Israel have very little to celebrate on Christmas. Like on many other days, they pray for a visa or recognition of their refugee status. When they seek spiritual guidance, they often go to Lavenda Street in southern Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv is where we're sitting in right now, known locally as Church Alley. Our reporter, Lauren Izzo, is on the scene in that church. And Lauren, good morning to you. Where are you at and what's going on there?
Good morning and Merry Christmas. Well, Yael, I am in South Tel Aviv at the Lift Up Your Head Church. As you said earlier, South Tel Aviv has a very concentrated population of African asylum seekers. And a lot of them come to this church to pray, not only for Christmas, but all throughout the year. But not only is this a place for prayer, it's also a place for homeless people of all kinds from this area to come and spend the night here. And they have dozens of people coming here every night, which is a really great initiative. And with me, beside me, I have Pastor Jeremiah Sunday Dairo, who is actually the founder of the church and the pastor here. Hello, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Can you please tell us a little bit about how the church was started and where the idea came from?
The church was started in 2007, and the idea came from when I traveled to state and for a conference during December time, and I canceled my hotel because I don't like the hotel I booked, and I found myself in the middle of the night. I have no hotel, and my wife was pregnant, and we have no room. And by His grace, I went outside and I met somebody, and somebody decided to say, okay, you came from Israel, yes, okay, come to my hotel room, and he decided to allow us to sleep in his own hotel room, and he left his room for us. And the idea came to me when I came back to Israel, that some people are here, some refugees downstairs have no place to sleep. And I told them, I quickly my brain switch off. Do you remember when you're in America, California, and you have no place to sleep? Then I told them to come inside. So when they came inside, I told them, please, do you like this place, or I hope you don't mind to sleep in this place. And they said, this place, Pastor, is like a 5-star. And that is how people started coming to sleep here. And we use it as a church, as we know. But the idea came from when I was in America. I canceled my booking, and I could not get to hotel that night. And I was in the middle of nowhere. And God supernaturally provided somebody that gave him his room to sleep for that night. So.
And who exactly makes up the congregation? Is it the same as the people who are sleeping here at night?
No. Some of them do come back. But normally we do it for everybody. No matter your color, no matter your religion, no matter where you're coming from, as long as you have no place to sleep in the night, we allow you to sleep here. But for the congregation, are people that we have touched their lives, people that we have evangelized, people that comes from outside, are the people that are our congregation here.
And what kind of a symbol is this church within your community?
The symbol is a place of refuge. It's a place where when your spirit is down, we lift your spirit up. It's a place where when you are in struggle and you feel, a lot of people have said, Pastor, if not because of this church, I wanted to commit suicide. If not because of this church, I could have done something. If not because of this church, I will go into drug and I will never come out. So this church has been a place where God have used us to bring a lot of people out from their mess, from the situation, from the plan and attack of the enemies in their lives.
Do you have perhaps a particular memory about somebody who came to your church who you really helped to change his life around?
Yes, I have a lot of them, but one is very, very in my fingertip. This guy was coming with his mother, and at the border there, they raped the mother, and the mother was pregnant, and they did not allow her to come in. And now this one was below 16 years. He was around 14 years, and he came to Israel. And when he came to Israel, he went to Mesila, and Mesila is a government organization, and the government organization called me and said, Pastor Jeremiah, we have never had this kind of situation before, and we don't know what to do. We have no place for children like this, and so they brought him here, and after 2 weeks and 3 weeks...
All right, great. That's all the time we have. Thank you so much for being with us, and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. All right, Yael, as you can see, the festivities are already underway, and we can't wait for Christmas.
No, Lauren, it's an amazing place that it is in the Central Bus Station. Lauren Iser down there for us. Thank you for being with us this morning.